All right. Thanks so much, Shep. And these extraordinary events that we've been watching unfold for the past few hours, Mike, serve as a real real backdrop for the markets move and makes the moves today even that much more extraordinary, considering how well the markets held up. Yes, the S&P 500 finished off its highs by about 40 points, but still relatively strong going into the close.
Yes, they held up relatively well. Certainly did take some air out of that rally. And of course, the basis of that rally, at least the near-term catalyst overnight, was simply the market deciding that it had figured out the complexion of the new government that we were transitioning to, which would be Democratic control of the Senate. The inference was that it would be kind of some economically friendly policies, more stimulus. So that's the way the market started to reprice itself all day. Over the last couple of hours, I think you did see traders given some pause about the events in Washington. And so things backed off a bit, and you did see, in fact, people getting a little bit higher expectations for potential volatility in the near term.
Yeah, volatility was the headline in the afternoon. We saw that VIX spike about 16%, finishing the day on the day still lower, but it did creep higher towards the end. And you got to wonder, as we look to tomorrow, Mike, for some of the clues, and some of the clues may lie in the bond market. We didn't see the 10-year yield give up that 1% level, which we had not seen since March. We saw it back off a little bit from the highs, but not too much of a bid for the traditional safety plays that you would think could have unfolded in today's session.
Right. There was not a wholesale rethinking of the basis of what was going on in markets. It's always a question as to whether really the market has already carried far enough in this direction to account for some of the economic improvement we've all been waiting for. And so maybe this creates an excuse for some people to back off and say maybe it's enough for now. I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case. But there was nothing specific. And I think this is something that's sometimes hard to really focus on. The market is pretty much cut to the chase. I mean, what does this ultimately mean for corporate earnings, the credit markets, the Fed, the path of the economy? And it didn't see too much in a lot of the unsettling footage today or anything to really unwind a lot of their expectations.
I mean, if there is something that the markets have proven to be really good at, Mike, it's proven itself in the past year to be really good at looking forward.
Yeah.
And we saw this play out when riots gripped the country in multiple major cities and small cities across America over the summer, over Black Lives Matter and protests over social inequality. And the markets largely looked past that. And here we are sort of in the same situation where the markets are just digesting what the blue wave means. They sent solar stocks up. They sent infrastructure plays higher. We had the yield curve steepen. We had banks really finish the day strong. The KRE Bank Index still managed the day with an 8% gain. So really some still extraordinary moves, even though we saw the markets lose steam here. I did want to bring your attention here to another statement from a CEO, David Solomon of Goldman Sachs, sending in to our Steve Leisman. This is his statement. For years, our democracy has built a reservoir of goodwill around the world that brings important benefits for our citizens. Recently, we have squandered that goodwill at a rapid pace, and today's attack on the U.S. Capitol does further damage. It's time for all Americans to come together and move forward with a peaceful transition of power. We have to begin reinvesting in our democracy and rebuilding the institutions that have made America an exceptional nation. And, of course, he joins the ranks of Michael Corbat over at Citi, as well as Jamie Dimon over at J.P. Morgan Chase, in condemning what has gone on this afternoon, the extraordinary events this afternoon in our nation's capital.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.